Hello. Thank you for your interest in DNR's Youth Education and Land Mapping tool, otherwise known as YELM. This video will discuss how to use YELM to explore state trust lands in your community. If you are not familiar with GIS, we suggest watching our video on the basics of the YELM tool first. At statehood in 1889, the U.S. Congress granted Washington millions of acres of land to support public institutions. These lands were identified as part of a massive surveying and mapping effort. Using the public land survey system, Washington was divided into 36 square mile townships, each of which are comprised of 36 sections. The 16th and 36th section in each township were provided to the state to support public education. This became the K-12 Common School Trust. Other lands were designated to benefit other trusts, including public colleges and universities and the Capitol buildings in Olympia. This history is evident in the distribution of DNR-managed lands across Washington. In the years since, there have been efforts to consolidate trust lands into larger blocks that the agency can more effectively manage, but you will still see a checkerboard effect, especially in eastern Washington. Today, DNR manages nearly 3 million acres of trust land. DNR meets our legal responsibility to generate revenue for trust beneficiaries through activities such as harvesting timber, biomass products, and other forest products, leasing lands for agricultural purposes, such as orchards and vineyards, irrigated agriculture, dryland crops, and grazing, leasing communication sites, mining and mineral leases, wind farms, and energy production, commercial properties, and right-of-ways. In addition to earning income, activities on trust lands are managed to protect habitat for native plant and animal species, provide clean and abundant water, and offer diverse public recreation opportunities. To view the trust lands and what institutions they benefit, turn on the Trust Lands layer under the Washington Department of Natural Resources section in the left-hand panel. Remember that the parent layer for the DNR must be selected in order to view the trust land layer underneath it. You will also want to turn off the DNR Managed Lands layer in order to clearly view the colors that correspond to each trust. You can view a legend for this layer by clicking on the icon next to the trust land layer. Let's look at the area around Grass Mountain near Green River as an example. First, the lands shown here in bright green are not trust lands, but natural areas managed by DNR for conservation and the protection of special ecological features. You can view just the natural areas by turning off the trust lands layer and turning on the natural areas layer. And then you'll see here that there are two types of natural areas: natural area preserves and natural resource conservation areas. The pink lands benefit the K-12 Common School Trust. Money made through the management of these lands is provided to the Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction to distribute through the School Construction Assistance Program. This is the largest state trust, with more than 1.8 million acres. The light purple lands here benefit the Agricultural School Trust, which funds Washington State University. And the bright pink lands fund the University of Washington. The dark brownish orange are lands that produce funding for the state buildings at the Capitol in Olympia. The dark blue lands fund the Normal School Trust and generate revenue for Eastern Washington, Western Washington, and Central Washington universities, and the Evergreen State College. The light blue denotes state forest trust lands. These lands benefit counties and junior taxing districts. They provide revenue that supports local and state schools, as well as county services, including roads, libraries, fire districts, ports, hospitals, and emergency management. Unlike the federally granted lands, the state forest trust lands are parcels where landowners defaulted on their property taxes, largely during the Great Depression. These lands were then deeded to the state by impacted counties and are now managed by DNR for the benefit of the counties where they are located. The orange lands include lands managed for the Community College Trust and other DNR managed lands. To learn more about the trust beneficiaries, visit dnr.wa.gov. For support in using the YELM tool, you can reach out to the Youth Education and Outreach Program at yeop@dnr.wa.gov. Thank you.